You knew before you had proof, before anyone believed you. The knowing is when you stop doubting yourself. Savar hurt is what happens next when intuition becomes boundaries. Welcome home to self. Isn't a podcast for people who learned it in the book. This is for people who lived it. If you ever known something before you had proof, before anyone believed you, before it made sense, that wasn't anxiety. That was not overthinking. That was your knowing. This is the knowing. Today, we're going to talk about why peace feels unsafe at first. No one warns you that when you finally leave chaos, your body feels in panic. Not because something is wrong, but because something is unfamiliar. We grow up thinking that the goal is peace. We imagine that once we get there, everything will just be relaxed. But when most people don't know and talk about is that when your nervous system is shaped by chaos, peace doesn't feel safe at first. It feels exposed. If your body learned love through inconsistency, if the connection came with chaos, if you had to read the room, fix people's problems, and walk on eggshells, then your body learned that tension equals safety. Because tension meant you were prepared, tension meant that you were in control, tension meant that you could prevent the next explosion. So when life gets quiet, when no one is demanding something from you, when there's nothing to solve, your system doesn't celebrate. It searches. It scans the room. It scans your phone. It scans your partner. It scans your future. Because your body is asking, what am I missing? What's about to go wrong? What do I need to prepare for? And then, this is the moment most people misinterpret. They think something is wrong with them. They think, why can't I just be happy? What do I feel restless when everything is finally okay? Why do I feel more anxious in peace than I did in chaos? But the truth is, your body isn't broken. It's just loyal to your nervous system. It's loyal to the environment that kept you alive. For years, maybe decades, your nervous system practiced survival mode. So when peace arrives, it doesn't recognize it as safety. It recognizes it as unfamiliar territory. And unfamiliar feels dangerous. That's why so many people go back to relationships, back to drama, back to chaos, back to a version of themselves that was always on edge. Not because it wasn't good, but because it was known. Adrenaline is addictive. Intensity can feel like love. Uncertainty can feel like passion. And calm can feel like absence. But here's the deeper truth. Peace doesn't activate adrenaline. Peace activates grief. Grief for how long you lived without it. Grief for how much your body carried. Grief for your younger version of yourself that never got the right rest. Grief for the nights that you stayed awake, for the moments you doubted yourself, for the time you knew and you were told you were wrong. So when life gets quieter, what you're feeling isn't boredom. It's release. It's your body finally letting you go of the tension that never had permission to drop. And the release can feel overwhelming because when survival mode energy leaves, there's space to think. There's space to know who you are, to learn yourself. You meet your needs, You're able to meet your truth. Meet the emotion that had to be pushed down so you could keep functioning. This is why peace can feel unsafe, because your system is learning a new language. And this work isn't forcing yourself to stay calm. This work isn't pretending you're healed. This work isn't shaming yourself for feeling restless. The work is staying present long enough for your body to realize nothing bad is happening. I'm not in trouble. I don't need to brace myself. This takes time. This takes repetition. It takes compassion, because your nervous system doesn't change through logic. It changes through experience. So every time you stayed instead of running, instead of creating drama, instead of picking a fight, instead of self-sabotaging good things, you teach your body something new. You teach it that it's calm, it's not danger, that consistency is not a trap, that love does not have to hurt to be real. And slowly and very slowly, peace stopped feeling empty and it started feeling full. Peace stopped feeling suspicious and it started feeling soft. Peace stopped feeling boring and it started feeling powerful. Because regulated is power. Regulated is clarity. Regulated is intuition. Regulated is sovereignty. You're not behind of this feeling strange. You're not doing it wrong if your body still gets restless. You're not broken if you're calm. It makes you uncomfortable. You're recalibrating. You're rewiring. You're remembering what safety actually feels like. And that remembering is scared work. Because when you become regulated, you stop choosing from fear. You stop making mistakes for alignment. You stop abandoning yourself to keep connections. And that changes everything. The relationship you allow, the boundaries you hold, the love you accepted, the life you build. So if you're in this season where things are quieter and part of you feel uneasy, let this be your confirmation. This isn't regression. This is your expansion. This is your nervous system catching up to reality your soul has already chosen. Peace isn't boring, it's regulated. And regulated feels strange before it feels safe. You're not behind, you're remembering. This is the knowing, and you are safe here. If this podcast landed somewhere in your body, you're not meant to process it alone. You can sit with it, you can replay it, or you can join the space where we keep having these conversations. No fixing, no performing, just truth.